As we prepare to celebrate our country's 249th birthday, we are getting new insight into what Americans think about where the country stands. A new NPR PBS News Marist poll found 3/4 of Americans feel that democracy is under serious threat and see politically motivated violence as a major problem. So who better to talk about this moment in time than presidential historian Jon Meacham? He wrote a new introduction to Random House's volume of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. So, Jon, Americans are clearly concerned. Where do you think we are headed as a nation? We know where we've been.
Well, we do know where we've been, and that can, I think, guide us, or at least give us some sense of what's ahead. History's not a GPS. You can't just type in coordinates and take a turn here and there, and you know where you're going to be. But you do have a sense, I think, that the country has a deficit of trust, a rising distrust in democracy. The question is, what do they think of when they say democracy? What I think of is the rule of law, the Constitution, and that you can't be for the system, you can't have faith in the system only when you prevail. And what I fear is that that too many of us who are supporters of President Trump are inclined to defer to one man, one party, one interest, to the exclusion of using something that was so vital to the American Revolution and which informed the document that we're commemorating tomorrow, the signing of the document, which is that reason is supposed to at least have a fighting chance with passion in the public arena. And so what we're facing is a test of citizenship. Are we willing to call balls and strikes as we see them? Or are we going to only call them balls or strikes depending on who's pitching?
That is such of course, a profound statement. My family and I, we went to see the play Hamilton recently. And maybe that's why these copies of the Declaration of Independence, the Federalist Papers, the Constitution are just flying off the shelves nowadays, because it is our story of our nation is an interesting story with twists and turns. And in what you write for Random House's edition, you wrote, "For all our dreams deferred and our unfilled promises, the United States of America is founded not on ethnicity, but on an ideal." Juxtapose that with Politico Playbook pointing out that polling shows 1 in 5 Americans are now ready to replace Donald Trump with the King of England.
Yeah. Monarchy's easy. Democracy's hard. A monarchy is, okay, let's have daddy or mama take care of this. And I don't have to think so much about it. Democracy is incredibly difficult because it's about all of us. You're a better person than I am, which is not hard, so don't get too cocky about it. But think about it. If we do the right thing 51% of the time, that's a pretty good day in terms of human nature. And so why would a democracy be any different, since it's the fullest expression of all of us? Without meeting this test of citizenship, we will sacrifice so much to the rule of the strong. And that's what democracy was supposed to protect us from doing, is falling prey to the whims and appetites of somebody who just happens to be stronger than we are in that particular moment. And so when the founders, however flawed they were, when they gathered tomorrow in 1776, they knew they were signing their death warrant, that they were committing treason, that they could end up in the Tower and worse. And yet they affixed their names because they believed in that sentence that Jefferson had written. Again, did not apply to everybody, and we continue to work on to fulfill that promise, that all of us are created equal. And I believe we can judge every era of American life by the degree to which we have lived into the Declaration or the degree to which we have fallen from it. And I worry that we're moving away from it in this hour as opposed to toward it. The good news is we can change course. It just requires enough of us to decide to do the right thing.